So let's see how this progresses.
And you don't have like skin that breaks out.
No.
I mean, mainly you get like rashes, inflamed spots if it gets rubbed too much or something.
Yeah.
Which a lot of your like inflamed skin issues cleared up. I would say like 90% after we did like our detoxing and went on organic food.
Mm-hmm.
But it just like took it to the next level. I feel like.
Yeah.
Like just like you don't like your skin is not even more so as reactive as it used to, as it was, I guess.
Yes.
And even I noticed that. Like, I feel like by the end of the first day, and like you definitely were much more, feel like you had much more energy by the next day. For me, I don't know if it's just being pregnant, but I noticed also that a lot of the foods were on like the red zone for my type. I was almost already avoiding anyway, or not really like wanting to eat. It was those food aversions, like the really bad food aversions I had early on in my pregnancy. A lot of the foods that were on the list for foods that like I wouldn't want to like. Wait.
That you were trying to avoid because it made you feel kind of like nauseous.
Weird
or like,
stuff.
Yeah, you're just like.
So I don't know if that was just a coincidence, and there was still obviously some foods that weren't on it, but like cashews. I like usually eat cashews a lot. I wouldn't even touch cashews. I ate tons of almonds, and almonds are one of the beneficial foods for me. It's another one. I did eat pizza every once in a while, but mozzarella, as far as the dairy, is one of the few neutral dairies that I can eat. What else? I ate a lot of miso soup, which has kale and tofu in it, which tofu is kind of like neutral protein.
Seaweed too.
Yeah. I couldn't hardly eat oranges that much, like citrus and whatnot. If I did drink tea, it had to have lemon in it. Lemon is one of the beneficial things. So there's a little bit of things you could correlate there, which could just be coincidence. I don't know. But I will say, after the first day of taking out some of the harmful foods, up until that point, my pregnancy nausea had gone away, but I was still feeling like this, I don't know how to describe it, like a stagnation in my digestion. Not really, like, things were moving, but like, it felt like I would just feel like almost always like I had some kind of like mild indigestion, where to the point where I had to like, in like the weird flavor in my mouth, which I felt like I had to like brush my teeth probably like 5 to 10 times a day, and I had to drink. I actually started drinking baking soda and water because you suggested that to me. So I was doing that in addition to the apple cider vinegar a little bit at night. But I stopped the apple cider vinegar because that's on my no-fly list. But no, so I started drinking. So I was drinking baking soda. But so after the first day, the amount, like that weird after flavor in my mouth after everything I ate, was gone. It was like literally gone. So I felt like I only had to brush my teeth like 3 to 5 times a day. That's still a lot. I also really like our toothpaste. So, and then the baking soda I was taking probably like after every meal, drinking some baking soda water. And that's gone down to like, or it went down to probably only twice a day. And that feeling of stagnation or like indigestion or whatever it was, like always feeling like it's weird to describe, like something was just sitting in my stomach fermenting. That went away after the first day. And it hasn't come back really since then, unless I ate a piece of bread or something.
Yeah.
But so that was what I noticed after the first day. What else? I think there was something else, but I don't remember. Oh, my energy level went up for sure. Pretty quickly, probably by the next day or so. And yeah, I felt clear-headed. That was another thing. So I was getting like, say, kind of irritable slightly throughout the day, certain times of the day, and yeah, really tired. And maybe by the next day or so, that seemed like it completely went away. Like I was very more clear-headed and level-minded, and like not so like quickly. Like I felt more even tone overall, and what else? Just a lot more energy. So
yeah.
We did this for the past 30 days. made adjustments to our foods. Basically, no olives, vinegar we don't really eat anymore. We switch out lemon juice. I really like vinegar, especially for salads. I just switched out for lemon juice now, the vinegar part, and it tastes just fine. So I don't even miss really the vinegar anymore.
Yeah.
We can both still have onions, which is awesome. You, not so much spicy foods.
Yes.
But spicy foods are relatively okay for me. So, like peppers, and that's good because I like spicy food. And that's another thing. You always had like...
It burned my tongue and stuff like that and give me some
hiccups,
I'd get hiccups and indigestion. And I used to, because apple cider vinegar is one I used to try to use to help with indigestion, and sometimes it'd make it way worse. And I was like, everybody else says it works great. And that's why I found baking soda and water was something I started trying. That one worked perfectly, and that's just all I use now. It's just baking soda and water. And even after we changed to what we were eating, I've had indigestion probably one time the entire month instead of like every few days. So that's quite a dramatic difference for me. It's like, and then also I used to get really flaky skin around my eyebrows, and like when my beard would be coming in, it'd be like flaky. That is almost all completely gone now. Mm-hmm. My skin would off and on be like really oily. That doesn't happen anymore.
Oh yeah, my head would get kind of like itchy here and there, and it's not anymore like at all. I feel like it's very interesting. What other things do we have to switch out? Bread, obviously, so it's wheat bread, the gluten in the wheat. So we've had to switch it out for like cassava flour, which we're experimenting with. Spelt flour apparently is somewhat okay, so we're going to experiment with that. I still found, and I did this maybe a few times throughout our month experiment. Still do vital wheat gluten mix to make like steak and like
for the protein
part of it, because I think if I wasn't pregnant I'd probably be almost fine without it. I don't know, but I also have noticed that doing the vital wheat gluten, maybe because it's mixed with so many other things that it's not just bread. It's bread. I don't feel as sluggish afterward. So I've probably eaten it like maybe 3 or 4 times throughout the month, and I don't feel like the effects are too like weighing down. So I might stick with that for at least for now, anyways. So basically, okay. Wait, any other important things?
No, it seems like for me, it's definitely not something I'm gonna just continue just doing, because overall I feel way better. It's like there's definitely a lot less things I can just like snack on and whatnot, because I'm also supposed to eat smaller more frequently. And I used to do that quite often before, because
they're more foods, more in their raw form.
Yeah, and the raw. I used to like snack on like raw nuts and stuff like that. Like I'd be eating like cashews and Brazil nuts, but those are like harmful to me. So now it's like now I have to like snack on like walnuts and peanuts. Peanuts is actually one of the ones that I really like to eat, and like,
they're beneficial.
And they're beneficial for me. And even like coffee, I like coffee. And I drink it, and it's like there's been many times where I'm like, I gotta stop drinking coffee. But then like anytime I get like kind of like a stuffy nose or whatever like that, I can drink some coffee and it'll like go away.
So basically, you're happy you can still drink coffee.
Yes.
Yeah. I used to get like, you gotta stop drinking coffee, but it's like it's that beneficial.
Yeah, it's actually a green one.
Yeah. For me, it's not one that I can drink for coffee specifically, and peanuts too, because I kind of like peanuts, but I've not really been able to eat like a ton. I mean, I actually like that one brand of dry roasted salted peanuts, but in general, like I don't really like peanut butter too much. I don't really like peanuts, and that's one of my like red zone things.
Yeah.
Coffee is as well, and I've never. I mean, I like sometimes the flavor of it if it's mixed with plenty of cream and sugar.
But
yeah, but it's and I can't really handle coffee that much, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
Trying to think of soda. Oh, that's another one. Soda was on one of the ones like carbonated soda or anything like that. Yeah.
And it always give me hiccups like every time I drink it.
Mm-hmm. And I've also noticed too, because before this I would get the organic sodas that like were actual just real food in them. Even those I'm like, alright, I'm good. Okay, I'm good. No, I don't need any more. Like my ability to handle it was like a lot lower than normal, I feel like. And it seems to make sense too. Stick with it because we have noticed and then we both feel better overall.
Yeah.
Like that's the biggest thing for me. I mean, I know I'm pregnant, but still my energy level has gone way up. And that was like after like the second day of making these changes too. That's I think the main interesting thing to me was it wasn't like, oh, it took a week and there was some gradual change. It was like literally the first day I noticed stuff, and after the second day it's like, wow, this is really interesting. And for you, and I could see the changes in you. Yeah. Like, whoa, dude, you look much more vibrant. I don't know. But, so yeah, we're going to definitely stick with it, for the most part.
Yeah.
I think
every now and again to kind of deviate, because there's foods that we like that are kind of like off the list, but
every blue moon we'll eat some ice cream. Every blue moon, every once in a while we'll eat pizza.
Spicy Indian food or something.
Indian food, spicy Indian food, yeah. Every once in a while, but definitely keeping the bulk of those foods that we're pretty much eating every day up until we made the changes, kind of at bay. It's gonna be good enough.
Yeah, it seems like it's definitely...
Oh, and also some of your joint pain and stuff.
Oh yeah, my joint pain and inflammation and everything like that is gone.
Well, your joint pain, because you had surgery in your right, like your shoulder and your hip.
Right shoulder, right hip.
And the pain from there, it's gone down a little bit. Or how much would you say?
Pretty significantly, because even recently we just had some cold weather, and usually that kind of flares it up, but...
Nothing? What about your back pain? Because you've had some back pain.
Even back pain is like much less. Much less. Inflammation is down, pain is down.
That's interesting. So yeah, it's really interesting. And again, like I said, experience, I feel like in general, is more important than what
the scientific studies show.
What scientists show. Always go off of, you can gather other people's real experiences, and make a decision about what you want to do as far as eating and whatnot.
Yeah.
And or anything really, and then try it out for yourself. You have to see how your body actually like reacts to things, or how it flows through whatever it is, whatever changes you're making, and then go from that more than anything else. Like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Listen to it, and then like how we were saying, like if we look back, it was like our bodies were kind of already leaning us toward and away from certain foods. That are kind of go in line with the whole blood group. I don't know what the whole blood group, what do you call it, the validity of like the numbers behind it or whatever.
All that kind of stuff. It's like mostly just like it's like kind of like a guideline,
but there's definitely something to. There's obviously something to it.
Yeah.
And I said I could also be like, it could just be a coincidence, because a lot of people don't like wheat and dairy, so maybe it's just the fact that wheat and dairy. But then there's the other little things here and there too that are kind of like where we kind of already have almost a natural, like, I don't really want to eat too much of that food or whatever, that goes along with what's on the list of food and whatnot. So our results of it, and also the fact that it seems like I said already, we seem to have like already kind of a almost intuitive or some kind of aversion to these foods already for the majority of them. I found that really interesting. And again, listen to your body. I think it's trying to...
It'll tell you more than a doctor could tell you, and all the scientists are like
a
just...
book.
It's like just kind of like listen to yourself and see what feels good for you. Don't just be like, oh, that tasted amazing, so obviously that's not what your body's trying to tell you. It's like, that can be tricked.
And if you wanted to try out the whole blood group eating, I would say try it at least.
Recommended.
If you're vegetarian or vegan, don't let that deter you.
No.
And you're not an A type. Don't let that deter you, because there are high protein other foods that you can eat and not have to go back to eating steak or whatever. Okay, right. But anyway, it's cool. Whoa.